CodewithAhsan is now live. Streaming software and game development, working on the Angular Cookbook, co-working stream and Q&A.
Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the stream. Hello. At this hour, we're going to start working on the Angular Cookbook, and this is going to be again a focus session. So yeah, it's going to be fun. We'll see how that goes. Is it still working? Yeah, that works. So that's cool. But I would have to add that to the other screen as well. So this is now running here, so I should be able to add the clock just like this. Yay. But that's not accurate. This is accurate. Yay. Now that's accurate. I know there's a bug in the app, but that's fine. I'm not sure if I'm going to upgrade that this week or the next week, but ये काम करता है, so I think that's good. But how have you been? How's everyone? How is everyone doing? And we're gonna quickly go to, because yesterday I did implement a couple of features actually in, sorry, not a couple of features, but I recorded an app, or not an app but a Figma to HTML design, blah blah blah. Okay, this doesn't work, so let's quickly open the app like this, and then we go to npm run serve ng reactive forms. I think I implemented the app, but I did not finish writing the book itself, or the chapter itself, or the recipe itself rather. So I'm going to be writing the recipe, and in the meantime, how about we do one little thing? Let's go back to the chat at one. And how about we put it like here in the middle? Can I do a transform center horizontally? There we go. That's more like it. Okay. Cool. Mm-hmm. Should we put our clock here somewhere? I don't know. Maybe like this. Yeah, that seems nice. Mm-hmm. All right, let's bring it here. And then we can write about it just like this. I'm gonna copy one thing from here. Where is it? Bottom banner. Is that the one? Nope, that's not the one. Ask your questions. That's the one. Let's go to screen and cam. And we could go like this here. But I'm not, I mean, now that I think about it, this could go into one.
Aslam Walaikum brother.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Waving
Azharuddin.
hand.
How are you doing, Azhar? Kya haal hai? In the chat. That looks really bad. But we are going to go with that. Maybe we could change the colors. Let's do it. Acha, let's change the background.
Alhamdulillah brother.
Good. Kya ho raha hai? It should be 1:30? Nahin. 12:30? 12:23 p.m., right? Let's change that. Let's change this to black. Yes. And we put it like this. And we also add the text around here. So working on fixing stuff in the production. Do we still know? Oh, we don't have a lot of things. Oh, okay. Salman, how's it going?
Brother, what do you think about data science? I am fresh data science student. Any opinion for me? Heart exclamation.
To be honest, I think अच्छी field है. It's a good field. You can definitely pursue that. Or given that there's a lot of stuff happening on towards AI and data science, I think, I mean, it in terms of scope, I think it's has a really good scope. But yeah, you just need to put a lot of time and effort into it. But yes, if you go forward and put your best in it, then yeah, definitely it's worth it. Mm, okay. Mm,
I wanna ask you that what's the DevOps? How's it related with web development?
I want to ask you, what is the DevOps and how is it related with web development, Muhammad Hazan? DevOps means basically managing your CI/CD, or for example your deployment architecture, किस तरीके से आपकी ऐप स्केल करेगी, कहाँ डिप्लॉय होगी, क्या उसमें हमने कोई ऑटोमेटेड स्क्रिप्ट्स रखी हुई हैं, उसमें कोई कंटिन्यूस इंटीग्रेशन या कंटिन्यूस डिलीवरी जो है, इफ़ वी हैव दैट इम्प्लीमेंटेड, which means के if you push your code to GitHub or any other platform, does it get deployed automatically? Does it run a lot of automated tests based on that? So managing all of that, and then also managing the databases, the servers overall, is basically something that comes under DevOps. So basically the architecture and the infrastructure. I would encourage you to go to roadmap.sh, and here you have a DevOps roadmap. I would encourage you to look at that. Okay. Good. Why can't it send to connection in error state? That's not good. That is not good. But okay. Anyways. Okay. Compose. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. See. Mm-hmm. G reactive forms. Have I pushed the code? Let's see. Git log. Yes. So where do we have the final files? Reactive forms, app, components, version control having, yes. So it has the form group.
Brother, can AI remove data science jobs or software jobs in future? I am worried about. What do you think about it?
why, why do you get worried? If you're good enough, then it's not going to replace your job. हमारे लोगों का मसला ये है, हमारे लोग जो है वो वरी बहुत ज़्यादा करते हैं और मेहनत बहुत कम करते हैं. तो अगर आप मेहनत करोगे एंड इफ़ यू आर गुड एट इट, यू डोंट हैव टू वरी अबाउट एनीथिंग. और वरी है किस बात की? जब आपको रिस्क का वादा जो है वो अल्लाह ने किया हुआ है, तो फिर किस बात की टेंशन है? ये चीज़ मुझे समझ नहीं आती. ये चीज़ आपके नसीब में जो रिस्क है वो आपको मिलेगा. आप उसके लिए बस जान मारें. टेंशन लेने से आई डोंट थिंक कोई ख़ास फ़ायदा है. तो आई होप दैट मेक सेंस. अच्छे डेवलपर्स की जो मेहनत कर चुके होंगे, या अच्छे डेवलपर्स की जो मेहनत करेंगे, करते रहेंगे, नई चीज़ें लर्न करते रहेंगे, थोड़ा सा ट्रेंड्स पे नज़र रखेंगे, बट अपनी एक्सपर्टीज़ किसी एक चीज़ में बिल्डअप कर लेंगे. दे डोंट हैव टू वरी अबाउट एनीथिंग. जिन लोगों को, जो लोग नहीं करेंगे मेहनत, या जो सिर्फ वरी करते रहेंगे, उन लोगों को मेरे ख्याल से शायद वरी करने की ज़रूरत है. तो दैट इज़ माई ओपिनियन ऑन द टॉपिक.
In the domain for almost a year working on WordPress, my coding skills is not good. Now I am starting to feeling depressed. I want to improve that. Can you guide me on this?
Let me get back to you on that in just a minute. Once once I finish writing the sentence. After that, we create a form group, which is a reactive form, containing a form control named version. You'll notice that the form control, or give me 1 second. After that, we create which is a reactive form containing a form, which is a reactive form, and as is the arguments for the construct, and, or rather, let's phrase it better. And it takes an object as an argument for the constructor function. The object having the keys can have further form controls, or let's call it form controls, nested form groups, or form arrays, etc. In our recipe, we provide a key named version against a form control. Okay. All right. Now I can answer the question. Talha Hanif पूछा in the domain for almost a year working on WordPress. My coding skills. Give me 1 second. My coding skills is not good. Now I'm starting to feeling depressed. I want to improve that. Can you guide me on this? सही है यार. इसकी छोटी सी एग्जांपल मैं ये दूंगा कि अगर आपका वेट बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ता जा रहा है, ठीक है, और आप ये कह रहे हो कि अब मेरा वेट बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ रहा है और मैं बहुत डिप्रेस हो रहा हूँ और अब मैं क्या करूँ, तो आपको क्या लगता है कि इसका जवाब क्या होना चाहिए? थोड़ा सा सोच के मुझे बताएं कि अगर आपका वेट बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ रहा है और अब आप डिप्रेस हो रहे हैं कि मेरा वेट बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ रहा है, तो आपको क्या करना चाहिए? व्हाट शुड बी योर प्लान ऑफ एक्शन? मुझे ज़रा चैट में बताएं. और जिन्होंने सवाल पूछा है सिर्फ वो नहीं, कोई भी जवाब दे सकता है इसका कि व्हाट शुड अ पर्सन डू अगर उनका वेट बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ जाए और वो डिप्रेस हो रहे हैं कि उनका वेट बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ गया है, तब उनको क्या करना चाहिए? बताएं बताएं. व्हाट शुड द पर्सन डू?
Well brhrha hawa kimnissk lime nevi apna kinakam ki high and workout and walk start ki high.
सही है. तो इसीलिए खाना कम किया है और वर्कआउट और वॉक भी स्टार्ट किया है. तो उसका मतलब यही हुआ ना कि आपके पास एक प्रॉब्लम थी, यू हैड अ प्रॉब्लम एंड देन यू फाउंड अ सॉल्यूशन टू इट बाय टेकिंग एन एक्शन. तो दूसरे केस में भी यू हैव टू टेक एन एक्शन. इट्स एज सिंपल एज दैट. Instead of being depressed, what you should do is take an action or think about, all right, how do I change the situation I am in right now? And the situation you are in right now is that you think your skills are not increasing. So one reality is that when you're working with something, you are getting some sort of skills. You may not realize it that you're learning something, but still you're learning something. Whether it could be any kind of learning. It could be repetitive learning, it could be a new thing that you learned, and sometimes you feel like you're not really learning anything. But if you really think through it and if you still realize that no, I'm not learning anything new, then just spend time on things to learn. I think that is a, I mean, what else can I suggest in this case? So take some time out, plan your calendar, and then put a recurring invite in your calendar for specific time for learning, and then give that time daily. Not if done daily, then at least at a consistent interval. So you could do it on every Monday. आप हर मंडे को करो, then you do it on every Wednesday. आप हर Wednesday को करो, Friday को करो. Try doing it in regular intervals. ठीक है. शरीयत के अंदर भी यही है कि सबसे बेहतरीन अमल वो है जो हम कंसिस्टेंटली कर रहे हो, चाहे वो सदका हो, चाहे वो नमाज हो, चाहे वो कोई भी रूटीन टास्क हो. तो अगर आप कोई बहुत अच्छा काम करना चाह रहे हो तो डू इट कंसिस्टेंटली. तो दैट वुड बी माई सजेशन. Look into creating a consistent calendar for yourself, and then start following it. Follow it as much as possible in this case. So I hope that answers the question. Okay, cool. I am going to start focus session. Let's go.
Yes Ahsan by good suggestion, thank you Red Heart.
No problem. No problem at all. Okay. The form controls constructor method takes two arguments. In our recipe, the first one is the default value, and the second is an array of validators. Notice that we are using the required the following validators. Which ones are we using? We are using validators dot required, validators dot pattern. Okay, ठीक हो गया. What else do we have to do? So we use both of them. Okay. Also, notice that the pattern we are using to validate semantic versioning is this. Let's use career new for this. Career career new. Okay, ये हो गया. All right. We then use the form group the in the template on the form element using the form group binding.
One thing Ahsan by what is the best path for a beginner, what should be his priority in the start of 2 to 3 years of his career, money or learning?
I mean, the answer here is obvious, but it should be learning. Initially, you don't get to ask for a lot of money until
Neo
you
Arud
really
bro, if
get.
I wanna switch my career from Laravel dev to Angular dev, so how much grip I need on JavaScript?
I can answer that in a bit. So yeah, in the beginning, just focus a lot on learning. Make sure that you're spending a lot of time getting expertise. Once you get the expertise, then you can ask for money or focus on money. But in the beginning, just focus on learning. There was a time when people actually worked for low wages, but still their goal was learning. And now it's a bit different. Everybody just wants more money, and I cannot really blame, because there's the situation of the country as well. So it's a tough situation compared to, yeah, the previous years. But yeah, the fact is the fact. Right now, I think still the focus should be, you can go for looking for more money, but not at the cost of not really learning something. So money should not be your goal ever, or money should not be your primary goal ever, based on either its professionalism, or it should be, or at least that's my opinion. Since you're asking my opinion, that's my opinion. I wouldn't go for entirely money ever. I would look into other things as well. I would look into the companies, what skill sets they want from me, what are their expectation, what do they teach me, or how do I grow within the company, and what skill sets do I get along the way. So what is my learning path within a company, and also how am I making an impact within the company as well. So yes, that would be my suggestion. So at least for the first 2 to 3 years, try to become the best version of yourself by spending a lot of time. That would be the suggestion for Talha Hanif. अब्दुल नाफे अली हाशमी, बड़ा खूबसूरत नाम है यार आपका. वालेकुम अस्सलाम वरहमतुल्लाह. If I want to switch my career from Laravel dev to Angular dev, so how much grip I need on JavaScript? I mean, it really depends. It's like या तो आप for example, it could be that if you try to become an electrician, ठीक है, तो उसके दो तीन तरीके हैं. एक तरीका तो ये है कि आप किसी के पास चले जाओ और उससे जाके सीख लो स्पेसिफिकली स्पेसिफिक काम इलेक्ट्रिशियंस के. फॉर एग्जांपल फ्रिज कैसे सही करते हैं, ठीक है. अब फ्रिज सही करने के लिए आपको पूरी जो इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग है वो आना ज़रूरी नहीं है. सेम गोज़ हियर. You don't need to be an expert in JavaScript in order to start learning Angular. अगर आप Angular के अंदर अच्छे होना चाहते हो तो वो एक अलग सिचुएशन है कि आपने स्टार्ट किया and then you started working on it and you learned Angular, but then along the way you also started learning JavaScript. So there's no fixed quantitative answer to this question कि कितनी JavaScript आनी चाहिए, क्योंकि कितना जो है वो कभी नॉलेज के साथ बाइंड नहीं हो सकता. तो आई कैन से कि आपको इतनी आनी चाहिए, 50% आनी चाहिए, 20% आनी चाहिए. स्टूपिड. देयर इज़ नो क्वांटिटेटिव वे ऑफ सेइंग इट. या आपको ये टॉपिक्स आने चाहिए, क्योंकि एवरी ऐप हैज़ ए डिफरेंट use case. Every app or every company has a different usage, so it's hard to say how much. I hope that makes sense. इसका अगर मैं थोड़ा दूसरे तरीके से रिफ्रेज करूँ तो as much as possible would be the answer. So you don't need to, इसके दो एस्पेक्ट हैं. पहला, you don't need to be an expert in JavaScript to start learning Angular. आप पहले भी स्टार्ट कर सकते हो even if you have Laravel experience. So start following Angular tutorials and then just get into those. और दूसरा इसका एस्पेक्ट ये है कि when you start doing it तो फिर आप JavaScript के ट्यूटोरियल्स देख देख के उसमें बेहतर होते रहो. JavaScript के लेटेस्ट स्टैंडर्ड्स को देखो. What are those? How to work with different situations in JavaScript. The more you learn, the better you'll get, inshallah. तो आई होप दैट मेक्स सेंस. अच्छा जी, इसको भी हम कर देते हैं कुरियर न्यू. लेट्स मेक दिस वन आल्सो कुरियर
For a
न्यू.
beginner, what you suggest, React or Angular, what's more easy to learn?
आई थिंक बोथ ऑफ देम हैव equal learning curve. With React you may be able to start the application or create an application easier, so to say, but that's also very subjective because of the recent changes in Angular. So I would say the learning curve is quite easy. With React, I think you get lost quite a lot if you don't have a senior engineer in a team. With Angular, it's much easier. So you just create an Angular app, you have the testing in place, you have all the goodness in place. TypeScript is configured, testing is configured, all the packages that you would need for a small to medium scale app is configured. So I would say I would probably go with Angular instead of React, just to not spend a lot of time just figuring out which libraries to use. So yeah, I would go with the
Ahi.
Angular. Yeah, Barakallah, no problem. Okay, also this is the parameter. Let's make it bold. We then use the form group, i.e. the version form variable in the template. Okay, then we use that. And we then bind the form control, the version form control in the template using the form control name attribute. Okay. Put the submit event listener to the form using the we handle the form submission using the Inchi submit listener on the form element. Form element. Okay, that's good. Let's have a break of 5 minutes and then we'll continue again. So I'm gonna take a 5 minutes break and then I will be right back. Okay, चलें इसको दोबारा कंटिन्यू करते हैं. तो let's continue this. Righty, where were we? Here. So we handle the form submission. This is on the form element. And then we okay. Then we also look at the form. In the version control component class, we have the form submit method to handle submission. Also, what we bind even listener in the template. When this function is called, we check if the form is valid. If that's not the case, we just don't do anything. Otherwise, we set the value of the version name property, which adds a new log to logs list. Okay, that makes sense. Finally, we handle the errors using the form. Finally we show the errors based on the form validation in the template. Using the errors property on the version form control. Is empty after making any initial change to it. We show the required, or we could say something like the error object gets the required property set to true. On the form control, let's also make these small. Gets the required property set to true. When the user adds a value to the input the property is removed, and the validation of patterns, or pattern rather, because we have required and pattern. Pattern gets triggered, and if the pattern doesn't value of the input, we get the pattern property added to the form controls error object. Errors object. Is that right? Notice that in step 3, yes, in step 8. In step 8, we use these properties from the errors object to show or to show the relevant error. Have I covered everything? I think I have covered everything, right? Yes, I think I've covered everything. Cool. Then I think that makes sense. So let's have a look at the outline now. Switch to that tab, please. Thank you. Now I have to see what is the next recipe that we have. So then we have a testing forms in Angular. So that means so I have to write one, two, no, one, two, three, four recipes more. Let's start with the first one. It's going to be testing forms in Angular. So for this one, we do need, but we did name it testing forms in Angular. So testing forms in Angular. Let's go to the initial testing forms in Angular, and all right, let's go to the code and let's make it like this. I'm gonna close everything, we're gonna collapse everything, and let's make a new project. npm run create, we do 8 ng testing forms, and then testing forms in Angular. Should be good. All right, let's create a new project. Okay, so we got a new one created. Good. Let's see. And now we can serve the project. So npm run serve ng testing forms, right? So we should have a new one here in apps. Ng testing forms. Good, good, good. Okay, so now what I need to do is, no, I don't want another port. Let's stop this one and then go with this one. Okay, so what I need to do is replace the app, but now that I think about it, I need two different forms, the reactive one and the template driven one. So here we go, the app itself. Close this one, come on this one. Okay, so we do need to work on two different things. So let's say I go to final apps 8 reactive forms. Let's go with template driven forms first. So I'm gonna go with components, vc log version control. That's gonna be interesting. We'll see. We'll see how to do it properly. Okay, so we would go and do this. We could show the components side by side. I think that would be probably the easiest one. Let's see. So in here, I would go and create the components, and this is the template driven one. So this one should have a template driven form, which is here. We got to change the name of the component. So we could say version control component. Uh, 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 uh. Let's create two different components. We're going to call them version control TDF and version control RF. So let's do that. So cd start npx nx generate component components version control TDF. Okay. And just to make sure we have style SCSS standalone, and the project is going to be ng testing forms. Okay, let's get this created. Which schematics? Narwhal Angular component. Okay, so we do get the TDF here. Let's also create another one for reactive. So ng testing form, no. Version control reactive. Or just make it version control R, no. Reactive. Or RF, TDF, RF, makes sense. So RF is going to be Angular component. And now I can work first on the TDF. So in this case, the template goes from here to here. Then we should have this class. And I would probably, we'll see. Probably go here and copy pasta a bunch of stuff. For example, this goes here. Then you have these. They go inside here. And then I don't really need anything else, but you should have the common modules, form module, MVC logs component in the imports. So there you go. Does it work? Seems like it should work. Are there any styles? Yes, there are. Version control has some styles. I'm going to put that here. And then we also had, I'm going to remove the version control component. Wait a second. And then we got the control TDF, This one should be saved. And then here. Okay. Now I can remove the version control from here. And yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. Now reactive forms, components, version control. And I could actually close the other files. So now I have version control. I open it. And then here I have the reactive. So we open it. Template, copied to template. SCSS, copied to SCSS. And TypeScript will be copied to TypeScript. So I'm gonna copy from here, put it inside here, and then we just need to import all of this up top. Okay. And then this common VC logs component and reactive forms module. Save it. Save it. Okay, this looks promising. So now that we have the components working, how about we render a bunch of stuff? So how about we go ahead and say, hey, this is going to be a grid. So how about we have a section? Should we have a section? I think we should have a section. Do I have some styles here? No, I don't. Do I have some styles here? No, I don't. Okay, so then we do a section that has two. No, I'm gonna actually have a. I'm gonna actually have a div that has two sections. So section into two. The first one is gonna have app. No, wait a second. I need to import both of them. So router module. We see logs. No, we version control TDF, version control RF component, control RF component. Okay, so I got those two here. Now I should be able to type them. So app, no, wait a second, app TDF, so template driven on the left, and app RF on the other side. Yes. So now if I go to my app, yay, I've got two of them. Two. Why do I have this here? What is this? Is this section? Why do I have a border color here? What? Why do I have a box shadow around it? Box hiding border box makes sense, but why do I have... What is this? It's a border color, but okay. But then what is... If I hide this, visibility hidden, then that goes away. What is this behind the scenes? Right? What? I have no clue what that is. But it's here as well, right? Okay, I'm not sure. We're gonna have a look. So this div gets to be a class. Class. It's gonna have a grid. And grid calls to. Right, so this should look like this. Let me bring this down. This should have a gap of 4. So we have a gap. What is with this this thing behind the scenes? What is... So we have the form here, we have VC logs here. Div has a button. It's super annoying. Where did this come from? What is there that has a border radius of shadow? What? Shadow. Nope. Shadow. Nope. Oh, because of the host here. Aha. Because this it says no. Wait a second. Now I get it. So this doesn't get to be here. Or does it? No. The text insert should be there. The P should be there, but the shadow doesn't make sense. Right? So it's gone now from this one. But I'm not... Oh, what I'm not doing really here is giving it a block. That's why. Look at that. Damn. Okay, so the block stays here. And I'm now not supposed to use it. I would. All right, let's move it outside. So this has to be something like VC logs. No, version control.css. No, scss. No, scss. So let's put the common CSS there. So gonna have this in, gonna be saving this, and then in here we import huh this. Okay, so we import this guy, and here we remove that and remove this. Cool, now we have two different cards with version numbers. um let's add some headings to on top of it, right? So in the first section we have a heading. Do we have an h here? Nope. So we should have an h1. ah h1 that should say something like template driven form, and here it should say reactive class text center text excel. That makes sense. And I copy this template driven form, reactive form. Yay, awesome. And now I could say something like submit version number is required. Why does this not work? What? No, wait a second. Did we not copy the final version in reactive forms? Oh, we have a version form. We have a form submit as well. Is it because okay. Oh, wait a second. Hey, give me my code back. So version control reactive form has a form group, has a submit form, check. Component reactive forms module, check as well. So then why on earth would you not work? Is it because no, wait a second. We have a form group, version form, blah blah blah. It shouldn't really matter. Because I've now I get it. Submit. This one doesn't submit, this one does not. This one you gotta start working on it. But then wait a second. All right, let's do Angular reactive forms submitted. We don't have it actually. The problem is that. But I don't want to use. I mean, I could use it. I don't want to use it. That's a good point. But I don't want to use that. Maybe I should put that in the. Maybe should I put that in the chat? It's confusing. Why? Okay. We'll see. But we are almost out of time for the time as well. Is the clock moving faster or am I tripping? Because now we have a difference. This This has like 30 seconds or 26 seconds remaining, but that one has like 5. So a difference of 20 seconds. A difference of 20 seconds in a span of 25 minutes. Hmm. That's interesting. I'm gonna have to look into that. Yeah. But let's take a break. Let's take a 5 minutes break and then we'll probably continue. All right. Be right back in the 5 minutes time. Okay, let's change the camera battery. Looks like we are not really showing anything. Right, let's do it. Give me 1 second. Give me a it. Okay, and now we should be good in a few seconds. There we go. Okay, so now that we have it, I mean, it's either that we use. Yeah, this. I mean, this is what everybody then suggests. So, hmm, hmm. Yeah, I think I would have to then go with adding a template driven form here as well. So, yeah. So we don't then submit the version form, then we submit the ng form. And then we also would have to see, no. So then we could say this, right? And then we should be able to do the same thing. So submit, submit. Oh, what? Do we have an error there? No. Nope, nope, nope. So this is TDF. This one is okay. So this one is, oh, we missed something. Sorry. No, what? So this is template driven form, right? In this case, we should, okay, my bad. Version form, version form. This one is good. This should be this. My bad. I should have changed in the other one. So this one is going to be the reactive form. And here we say ng form. And then here now I can say ng form.dirty. No, not dirty, but submitted. Should be the one. Eee. Nice. Anyways, so now we can probably go ahead and do this. So how do we test those components? How do we test that we have the values within those? So let's have a look at the recipe on how we used to do it before. Mm-hmm. 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 Was that the one which is form validation? No. Testing reactive forms. So what do we do here? We do get the component, we set a bunch of things, we expect a release log, we So more or less it seems to me like it's the same thing, but let's see. But as far as I think the UI is concerned, I think we should be good. So git add, git commit, chore, ng testing forms, initial files, or rather starter files. Okay, now now we get into the business. So testing. First of all, this is supposed to be test. So let's go with the template driven form first. So what we get here is we're gonna run npm run test. No, npm no. We're gonna run cd start. We are in the start. So npx run. No, npx nx run. Ng testing forms test. Yeah. All right, let's see. I should probably have a lot of tests failing at this moment. Okay, so one of them failed, the other one doesn't pass. Title equal to blah. We don't do that. What we should have is the toolbar title saying testing forms in Angular. That we could fix. So let's go here. We say app.title, not app.title really, but we could get an element. So we get the compiled one here. Then we get this to here. And then we expect it to have the testing forms in Angular. So then we expect it to be this. But then the element itself has the class. And that should be pa, pa, pa. Is that right? Yeah, this is. And then we should remove this one. We don't need that one. Okay, so app components would fix this. Do we have a test watch? No. Then we should have ng testing forms test. That should actually be in here. So projects.json. So we got build. We should have budgets, development, serve, lint test. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. If I would have to run this with watch, would it let me watch? I hope this will. Yep. Okay. So all of them are passing now. Good. But then what we need to do is start with the TDF. And in here, we should be able to say, all right, in this situation, if I submit the form, it's going to be interesting. I also want to see one more thing. That is in the project JSON, we have rename, lint, etc. We don't really have an E2E, but we will see. But at least for the testing here, let's go with just saying, all right, we want to test if app should be creating and then this. But here we do want to test at least that the component has a certain value. So we're going to say, all right, TDF, you're going to be created. But then what you should do is we have the version form on the template. So we should be filling some values, but then also looking into, let's think about it. So we fill some values, and then we see if we can uh, 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 if we get the new version, so to say, right? So, all right, let's give it a shot in. Let's give it a shot here. So we should be able to say, all right, hey, please get the native element for me. In this case, it's going to be this. So we get the compiled one. So we say, hey, you get the compiled version with fixed or native HTML, but we do have it here as well. Should we then create it like this? Because we're probably going to use it, or we just have one test to do it. So yeah, I don't think it makes much sense, but okay. So in the compiled query selector, we should have a form. So we get the form first. Cons form equals as HTML form element. Okay. Then we say form dot um, query selector. We say name. Wait a second. I mean, we have only one input, so in this case, we could still say, but I would rather want to go and type this name version in this case. So we say something like, hey, name equals to version in this case. And then you can say dot value. Let's say cons version input. So we get the version input as HTML input element dots value. You can say value equals, I don't know, 2.2.2. Then you say form dot query sector button click. So you click it. Then what we do is we expect the component um mhm, rest reps or test function. No. How about no? Then we do the component dot version name. So this should be to be or not to be. Let's see if this works out. Okay, so this means so it expected this and then received do 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 do. All right, give me one quick second so I can be right back. Oh, I'm back. So where would we? Yes. So instead of setting, wait a second. Instead of setting the version input value to 2, I think we could have just said the component dot version input to 2.2.2, and then this should, I think this should be good. The component dot version name to be await test blah, 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 blah. So you have a TDF, but you don't because you don't have the forms module, right? Is that because? But you have a form module now, so you got a TDF component which has this, but the form valid. Can we console.log form? So let's see. Status is invalid. And the value is version blah blah blah. No, so the thing is, why do I need to click this button? Shouldn't I be submitting the form then? But then if I need to submit the form, I don't really have the other. Wait a second. Wait a second. What am I missing? So Angular, Jazz. Wait for change detection. Component testing scenarios. I think it was fixture.detect changes, as far as I remember. Is it almost 11? Yes, it is. So I think if I change to this fixture.detect changes, I think that's the one. Uh-huh. In this case, the console log happens, and then we should have a one failed, three passed. So the version does not get changed. Version name to be okay, let's have a look at. So you go here with your the form doesn't seem to be valid. Why though? Version name. So wait a second. So in the test, we should start with a fixture.detect changes. We then go ahead and we change the version input value to 2.2.0. We do a fixture.detect changes. That's super weird. But then if I also use version input, what would you then log? The version is 2.2.2. Why isn't the form not reflected then? That's a bit weird. Ah, is it because no? Wait a second. Hmm. The TDF has the version input here, which is ng model. But I should be able to send the ng model like this. So if I have the version set to version input, I should still have the component dot version input set to 2.2.2. It should detect the changes now. Then when we get the button, we also, that doesn't make sense. What am I missing here? Let's have a look at this. So you got the form dot valid, form dot value. Mhm. So the form valid is false because the version's value is still the, the thing is then the ng model in that case then doesn't really make sense. So then shouldn't we do, so you don't do this but you then do this? In this case, what did you get? You get a false, you get the version here wrong, but then what do you have in the version input is still, because we no, wait a second, the form valid is false. Uh all right, let's try. So let's do a nope. So we can actually check it. So let's say we go to our app, we go here, we try to say, hey, can you please get this element? And then form, save that as a global variable. And then you do temp1 dot query selector. And then you get it. But, okay. So then, yeah, then I get it. So then this should pass. No? I want to see what this log, console log. And then I also want to see the version input dot value. So in this case, oh, it's 25 minutes already. Damn. Okay. Push off in a second. So the version input value is changed. All right, I'm gonna push off or actually do something else. But I'm gonna continue this more likely tomorrow. But yeah, thank you everyone who joined today. This was fun, and I'm gonna push off.